Welcome back to Bayou Time. I'm Jacob DeGate. It's my pleasure to be joined by Jennifer Armand, who's here, the Executive Director of the Bayou Community Foundation. Jennifer, thank you very much for joining us.
Sure, thank you.
Of course, you're with the foundation who's done just tremendous things for the area, you know, all the area that was devastated by Hurricane Ida. I know y'all have been doing a lot of work.
Yes.
Can you fill us or bring us up to date on the latest with the foundation?
Sure. Well, for those, first, for those who don't know about Bayou Community Foundation, we are the foundation specifically serving Lafourche, Terrebonne, and Grand Isle. We've been around for 10 years now. Bayou Community Foundation was formed after tragedies such as Katrina, Rita, Gustav, Ike, and then the 2010 Gulf oil spill, when local residents and stakeholders realized we needed that philanthropic bucket just for our region to help us in times of disaster, as well as to help build up our community during good times. So before 2021, a lot of our work happened to be with building up our community and nonprofit grants and things like that. And then on August 29th, 2021, of course, so many of our lives changed when Hurricane Ida made landfall here, and Bayou Community Foundation got to work. That philanthropic bucket really got to work out over the past year and a half. And we have been able to raise over $8 million to date for Hurricane Ida relief and recovery. And most importantly, we've been able to get that money out to help residents that have suffered the most from that debilitating storm. And one of our focus areas, really our primary focus area right now, is on housing, because we know that housing recovery is key to helping our community recover and also bringing families back home, because that ultimately is our goal.
Sure, in one of the areas that were hardest hit, you know, Grand Isle with their population, you know, a lot of their population took a big dip when the storm came through, with housing being lost and them not being able to rebuild back in that area. And it's important, you know, to have those people in that area to keep that that city alive, that town alive, and that's one area that you're able to help, thankfully.
Yes, absolutely. About a year ago, actually longer than a year ago now, in January of 2022. We held a meeting on Grand Isle with some of the stakeholders there, some of the nonprofits, Our Lady of the Isle Catholic Church, the mayor, to find out what were the needs that residents were facing. Of course, the island went for months without power and water, and so many people displaced. And the figures we learned were just astonishing. Over half of the structures on Grand Isle were either severely damaged or destroyed during Hurricane Ida. Here's a picture. This is one home, the Pisani household. This is right before the Caminata Pass Bridge. It was literally, the roof was torn off and the home was destroyed. What you're seeing there in those pictures, or yesterday we had a visit with some of our donors, visiting some of our homes that are being worked on the island. And we visited sites where volunteers were demolishing houses. This is Ms. Joan Sheremy. She's in her 80s, has lived on the island for many, many years. Her home was destroyed when the fishing pier near Caminata Pass broke away and actually pushed her home off of its piers. Wow. And we are building her a new home now with our Rebuild Grand Isle program. She picked out, you could see that green color she picked out. She said it's leprechaun green to give her luck.
And St. Patrick's Day, right?
Yes. So we're delighted to help her. Here's a picture of some of our volunteers with the Nomads, mission volunteers who are working on the island. Bayou Community Foundation is providing the funding for the building supplies. And these volunteers have been on the island since October, living in campers and doing lots of repair work for us, lots of help with residents there. Here's another picture of a new home being constructed for Miss Donna Baker. She is a United States Postal Service mail carrier on the island, the mail lady, as she calls herself. And her home was lost in the storm, and Rebuild Grand Isle, funded by Bayou Community Foundation, and all of our partners are building her a new home there as well. We realized early on, as I was mentioning, that the devastation to Grand Isle was tremendous, And the island was really just being neglected. When you consider all of the national groups that were coming into Terrebonne and Lafourche, and all the volunteers that were helping, of course, we were grateful for that, but Grand Isle just wasn't getting that kind of attention. And for the residents there who work in the gas stations and the restaurants and really keep the economy of Grand Isle moving, that their loss and the damage to their homes was devastating, and it really threatened the future sustainability of the island. So we decided at that point, working with Our Lady of the Isle Catholic Church and Father Mark Toops there, that we were going to start helping people get back on the island, and so Rebuild Grand Isle was born.
Well, that's wonderful. I mean, like you said, people getting back there, it took, such a long time to get things just going after the storm. And it's still going on, a year and a half later or so, and it's not going to be overnight, but the work, it's a great job that y'all are doing, and it's great that somebody's there to help these people out.
Yeah, exactly. Just a few numbers. While before we go to break, we've completed 11 repairs so far on the island of homes. We have 9 underway. We have 3 new builds of homes. You saw those earlier, underway right now. And we have over 30 or so homes and families who have been identified for repairs and new builds. We're going to work through a lot of those this spring and looking to bring more volunteers in the fall to complete that work.
Understand that for over a year y'all been working in Dulac. Can you tell us a little bit what's going on there?
Sure. Our Dulac housing recovery efforts have been tremendously successful. We are so proud of the work, and most importantly proud to, by the end of May, we will have put 24 families in new homes.
Wow.
In the Dulac community. These are families who lost everything they had in Hurricane Ida. Our housing recovery program in Dulac started in about October of 2021, so right after the storm. We had a group, Mennonite Disaster Service Storm Aid, a group of Mennonite and Amish volunteers who travel around the world helping to rebuild communities that have suffered devastation like we did. And we met them in Dulac. They were searching for a new location. We made a tremendously successful pitch to them that the need was obviously here. Bayou Community Foundation was able to secure money, initially an $850,000 grant to them to fund the building supplies for their volunteers to come here and do the work. And thanks to the Willie Daisy and his wife in Dulac, we provided housing for these volunteers. So what started in October 2021 with an $850,000 project and an intention to build 8 homes and probably repair about 50 more, has grown into a project that now, as I said, by the end of May, we will have built 24 new homes with MDS Storm Aid as our volunteers, and repaired, as I said, several dozen homes. And all of this much more quickly and much more effectively than I think any government program has done to date, for sure. We have been so grateful to the wonderful craftsmen with MDS Storm Aid. Some of you may, if you ever in the Dulac area and you see young folks, maybe some ladies in bonnets and dresses and some guys in suspenders and beards, that's our friends. They bring about 30 to 40 volunteers a week.
Wow.
In Dulac at the old VFW Hall, which, as I said, is now owned by Mr. Daisy. And they are tremendous builders. They can build a home in about 3 months. And Bayou Community Foundation is contributing probably about $120,000 a house. And the homeowners who lost everything are contributing any insurance proceeds or FEMA proceeds that they get toward the house. But all of the labor is provided voluntarily from the volunteers with MDS Storm Aid. As we like to say, they are the hearts and the hands and the hammers that make all of this happen. We're eternally grateful for them and so excited about what we've been able to do. We do have some pictures of some of our home dedications recently. This is Miss Melissa Foray. She lives near Dulac. We dedicated her home, I guess, about 2 weeks ago. And Melissa works for Terrebonne Arc. Here's a picture outside of her home and some of the Amish folks and Mennonites from Storm Aid who were there. There's a picture of us welcoming her and her daughter and friend to the home. These homes are built to withstand 150-mile-an-hour plus winds. They are storm resilient, and many of them are raised anywhere from 10 to 14 feet to meet our flood elevations. This is a note one of the Amish volunteers wrote on her wall. She asked them all to sign her wall so she can remember who built her house, and this was just nice. I had to take a picture of that. There's some of the ladies signing her wall, and another picture of some of our female volunteers. Look, these ladies are on ladders and painting and hammering, and there's some of our guys, and they have really enjoyed being in Dulac. They've really enjoyed the warmer weather right now.
I'm sure.
Because in Pennsylvania, it sure is cold, but they've enjoyed the warm hospitality. And there's a picture of some of the family, and there's one of our signs. If you see a sign like this in front of a home in Dulac, you know that's one of our projects. So here's another picture of Miss Melissa's house. This is Mr. Nathan Trosclair opening his door for the first time. This was in the summer of 2022 when he received his house, and that's a picture of us all gathered for his home dedication. It is truly inspiring, each and every one of these home dedications. This is, as Richard Watkins, who is our Bayou Community Foundation volunteer managing all of this, as he often says, this is our payday. This is when we hear the homeowners, their thanks and their gratitude, it's really our payday for all of our efforts, and we thank our donors for all of that.
Well, it's just a wonderful thing that y'all can provide these people, you know, a home. I mean, a home in their home, their hometown, not having to leave. I mean, the importance of that just really can't be stated. It's wonderful.
Yes, thank you. It's been very rewarding work, and it really complements all of Bayou Community Foundation's other activities. You know, throughout the year, we have grants programs and other workshops and conferences to help nonprofits build their capacity so they can serve our residents even better. And this is our way of serving residents and getting our whole community back up and running.
Well, you'll certainly have y'all work cut out for y'all. How long do you think you'll be continuing with Hurricane Ida stuff?
Well, we just launched Rebuild South Lafourche this January, and we're hoping that to be a 2-year program as well. Okay. So we might be doing this through 2025. All
right. Well, that's great. That's another. I look forward to you coming back and showing us all the people in South Lafourche, you know, all the great things, the new homes that are the rebuilds that y'all are able to do. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Good. Thank you, Jacob.
All right. Stay tuned for more right here on HTV.